Channel 5 News, we discuss the history and struggle for women's rights across the globe.
Also, Alexis Landrum and Miracle McCullough are our on-scene reporters. Talk to the great-great-granddaughter of the famous African-American and women's rights activist, Sojourner Truth.
We also visit the famous Women's Rights Museum in Alexandria, Virginia.
All-new Chevy Sonic. From your first time to the time of your life, Chevy runs deep.
And we're back. Okay, we said before today we were devoting the show to remembering the courageous fight for women's rights. In the past, all women were considered homebodies and relied on their husbands to make ends meet. Feminism had started way back in the Enlightenment. One of the first arguments about women were being able to divorce their husbands and own land. Later, women fought to get into college and have male-devoted careers. Also, one of the most important days for women in America was August 18th, 1920. It was the day the 19th Amendment was passed, giving women the right to vote.
It was an important day for the women because it is one of the main rights that women fought to obtain. The women's rights movement was launched on a national level in 1848. Elizabeth Cady Stanton, along with Lucretia Mott, started the movement at a convention in Seneca Falls, New York. Lucretia Mott was soon elected to be the first president of the Female Anti-Slavery Society in Philadelphia. On June 20th, 1840, Mott and another female delegates attend the World Anti-Slavery Convention in London.
And on July 1848, 300 people attend the first Women's Rights Convention in Seneca Falls, New York. In November 1874, in Cleveland, Ohio, the response to the Women's Crusade, a series of temperament demonstrations swept through New York and much of the Midwest in 1873 through 1874. Also, an experienced wartime fundraiser and administrator, Ann Wittenmeyer, was elected president of the WCTU, founded in 1874. During her 5-year tenure, the WCTU developed a network of more than 1,000 local affiliates and began publishing the journal Our Union. Dissension arose as a segment of the WCTU, led by Frances Willard, called for an edition of the suffrage for the group's platform, enjoining abstinence from alcohol. In 1879, Wittenheimer, who opposed such a move, was replaced by Willard. In the next 2 decades, Willard ran a temperaments movement as the WCTU began one of the largest, most influential women's groups of the 19th century. Willard also expanded the organization's platform to include such issues as labor laws and prison reforms.
The Women's Museum began as a dream, and I want to thank you for helping keep this dream alive. You opened your wallets, your company opened their resources, your support, your time, it all came together to see what we have here tonight. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you did and for the future and continuing to support the nation's only comprehensive women's history museum. My name is Kathy Bonner, and I'm the founder of the Women's Museum, an institute for the future.
Hello, and now on to one of our on-scene reporters, Miracle McCullough, interviewing the great-great-granddaughter of Sojourner Truth, one of the foremost contributors to the women's rights movement.
Hello. Well, today I have a very special guest. She's a descendant of the great Sojourner Truth, and her name is Samantha Nelson. How are you today?
I'm great, and you?
I'm wonderful. So, Ms. Nelson, tell me a little bit about your great-great-grandmother.
Well, she was born into slavery in the late 1790s, and she was very passionate about what she believed in and what she fought for.
What really made her famous?
Well, on May 29th, 1851, at a women's rights rally out of the blue, she walked on stage and started to speak. Everyone was surprised when they saw her walk onto the stage, for she was the only black woman at the convention.
What was she like?
Well, my grandmother always told me that she was extremely savvy and knew the importance of having her name known.
Nelson, thank you for your time and your knowledge.
I'm happy to share it.
Well, that's my time. Let's head over to Miracle with her report on the Museum of Women's Rights.
Hello, I'm Miracle, and I'll be telling you about the Women's Rights Museum here in Alexandria, Virginia. In this museum, you can learn hundreds upon thousands of facts about the fight for women's rights and the oppression some women had to go through. This museum is home to so many books about women's rights movement that you could learn almost every day. It also has books and monuments regarding Elizabeth Stinson, Lucretia Mott, and tons of other people who were involved in the women's rights movement. It also is just fun to walk around and look at the statues and monuments dedicated to people who fought for women's rights, and it honors those who had suffered for their bravery. In all, this is an amazing museum that can only be seen and explored to really grasp the rich energy of the women who fought for their rights. I'm Miracle, live reporting for Channel 5 News.
Well, that's all for today, everybody. I hope you enjoyed our special guest, and I hope you learned a lot about the fight for women's rights and a little bit about Black history.
Goodbye.